Hey guys, welcome back to the Fergie Time Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Graham, and we will be giving you our Champions League predictions, round of 16 predictions. Wow, isn't that exciting?
So exciting. I'm thrilled to be here.
And so, let's start off with the first match, Liverpool versus Atletico. Graham, who do you have winning that match?
I think Liverpool are too good to be beaten over two legs in Europe.
I can't disagree, but let me make this conversation a bit interesting.
Okay.
I think Atletico, if there is a team to beat Liverpool, I think it could be Atletico. Diego Simeone, known for his tactical genius. He can set up a side that could, I think, halt or slow down at least Liverpool's attack. And Simeone is the manager to do that. And I think he's shown his tactical prowess before in terms of stopping other very good attacks. So I think he could set up a side that does that.
There definitely is a case to be made that it's the potent attack of Liverpool versus the disciplined defense of Atletico, which has proven to be successful in Europe so many times before.
And the way they can play as well, where they sit in and then counter. Right. I think that could be threatening. But I'm not going to bet against Liverpool, a team that's been so good this year. Do you agree?
I agree.
All right, let's move on to a more interesting one. Dortmund, PSG. Who are you taking?
I think, again, PSG have the quality that it's going to take to get this done. Because they have a very experienced team with lots of players who have gone deep in the Champions League before. Neymar, if he's fit, Icardi's firing, and I don't know if this youthful Dortmund team has what it takes to get past the quality of PSG.
I 100% agree again. I think Dortmund's a good team, but it's not one of their best seasons. They're pretty bang average this year compared to where they've been the last couple seasons.
I think they're kind of in a transitional phase where they're trying to get young players to be at the top of their game while kind of trying to revitalize that defense, but Hummels is still kind of a mainstay, a little aging out maybe.
I agree with that 100%. And with PSG, right, you have so much talent. Icardi, you already mentioned. You have Mbappe,
right.
Neymar. It's just like, I think they're too good of a team not to go deeper into the playoffs. I think they have other issues that could halt them later on, but this early, I feel PSG will be dominant.
I think so. And they're putting all of their time and energy into this competition. As we've seen the last couple seasons, it hasn't worked out, but I think that they're still just gunning for the Champions League. And
they can also rest players ahead of the matches because in League One, they do have a little more comfort than Dortmund have in the Bundesliga, especially considering that PSG is winning the league and have a little bit of a buffer, whereas Dortmund are fighting, I think, in 4th position right now. So I think that plays into it as well. Moving on, Atalanta, Valencia. Who are you picking?
This is one of the ones that's more difficult to call because neither team is as dominant in their respective league as some of the previous ones we've mentioned. Atalanta has scored the most goals in Serie A, but maybe are not so defensively strong. And Valencia are kind of middling this season, definitely not their best season, but they are being kind of carried by Dani Parejo at the moment.
Yeah, and looking at Valencia as well, something I noticed was that their goal differential isn't great. So they're not banging in a bunch of goals, but they've not been super solid defensively. And I think that's going to be an issue coming up against Atalanta, who have scored, like you said, so many goals. They have a ruthless attack, and I think they're going to have trouble defending that and then getting their own. So I would say I favor Atalanta for this matchup. How about you?
I think that's probably a pretty safe pick.
I just don't think Valencia, if Valencia at their peak was playing right now, then I'd definitely pick Valencia. But this season they haven't been too good, so Atalanta for me. Moving on. This one's interesting. I'm really interested to see where you're going to go with this one because I know where I'm going.
Okay.
Tottenham versus Leipzig. Who are you picking?
Again, I don't have a super clear-cut winner for this one. I think Jose Mourinho has lots of experience in the Champions League. He's a winner, and he's got a good team, but they are not firing on all cylinders at the moment. And Nagelsmann is very inexperienced, but he has a team that are playing his system and playing it well. So I'm not sure where to go with this one.
I'm going to go RB Leipzig. This is interesting, and I don't like Tottenham, so going for Leipzig is even better for me. And the main reason I'm going to go for Leipzig, right, they're in first in the Bundesliga. It's a lot about the Champions League is just hitting the right run of form.
Right.
And I think they will hit the right run of form at the right time for Leipzig. They're playing excellent football. Very good young group of players who are buying into it.
Yep.
And Tottenham right now just don't look like they're having a great time out there. They have quality players. I think Ali's hitting a good run of form.
Yeah.
But then Harry Kane.
He's out for a while.
Hamstring out. That's problematic, right?
Definitely.
And the defense has not looked fantastic under Mourinho, right?
No,
he wants to go get Koulibaly, but...
Yeah, you would expect Jose Mourinho to come in and kind of strengthen this defense, but so far, since him coming in, Tottenham has conceded the most goals in the Premier League of any team, which is completely against classical Mourinho.
And he's touted as one of the best managers in the world, so you would expect an instant impact.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that instant impact, then I don't see him making that big of an impact in a couple months from now. It's going to be until he gets a big window under him to really to see improvement in the side.
His side.
So, are we both for Leipzig then?
I think maybe Leipzig is the team.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you agree with that one, guys. Moving on. Chelsea Bayern. This is an interesting one as well, I feel.
Definitely. But it's, again, a kind of a case of youth versus experience where Bayern Munich has a team that on its day can probably beat any team in Europe and has, Lewandowski, Coutinho, these players that are incredible game changers, versus this Chelsea team, which has been inconsistent, but on its day is also a very strong team, youthful, Pulisic, Abraham, Mount on their day.
Yeah, fantastic players.
Willian hitting some form.
Who do you think will win this matchup?
I think Bayern has what it takes to get done in Europe.
I agree with that. I think the issue with Chelsea is the inconsistency. You've had so many players who this is their first Premier League season, first time in the Champions League, and part of that is being inconsistent, right? Not being able to show up every match. And I don't think over two legs I'd prefer Bayern just because of the experience and Lewandowski, the form he's been in.
Yeah.
I don't see Kurt Zuma stopping that, so I'm gonna go with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, it's hard to not pick them because Chelsea again were barely out of the group stage as well. So
yeah,
and Bayern won all 6 games in the group stage, the first time that any team has done that in several years, I think. So easy pick.
Barcelona, Napoli. I think this one's pretty easy. Who are you going for?
So. I think it has to be Barcelona.
100%.
I think they have to have the quality to get it done over two legs, as with Messi and that tried and tested team.
Yeah. I think they've added some great additions this season too with De Jong joining Barcelona. I think another player that'll help them push further into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Napoli too, they sacked Ancelotti, which I think was a questionable decision.
Yeah, interesting.
And because of that, I don't know if they will be where they need to beat Barcelona. I think Barcelona is just a more talented team. But also, I feel Barcelona's been there, is tested. They've been deep into the Champions League multiple times, doing well in La Liga. I'm going to go with Barcelona. I think it's an easy pick. Don't bet against Messi in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do not bet against Lionel Messi in the Champions League.
Until the quarterfinals.
Yeah, against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Anyways, Juventus-Lyon. I think another easier decision.
Should be an easy pick for Juventus, especially since they are also one of these teams who are so dominant domestically and really want to win the Champions League as their main motivation. Yeah. And Cristiano, again, wants to win it again before he goes out. So I think Juventus has to be the one.
If there's one thing I actually have learned from the Champions League is don't bet against Ronaldo. I said don't bet against Messi. That's just because I love Messi. Ronaldo, though, in the Champions League is a different player. He shows up for the big matches. He's proven it time and time again. And I see him showing up big for Juve this year. I don't know if they'll be in the conversation of winning it, but definitely against a club like Lyon, expect Ronaldo to net a couple goals for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Last one, and I think the most interesting one, so I'm happy we saved this one for last. Real Madrid versus Man City. Who are you picking?
Tough one. I think that this is a City team with its weaknesses right now, and this is a Real Madrid team with its weaknesses right now, and so it's kind of a case of attack for both, I think.
Yeah.
And Manchester City, when it comes to a game of offenses, is second to none right now, probably in Europe. Just if it comes down to whoever's going to score the most goals and not necessarily do the most defending, City are a hard team to pass up on.
I am also going to choose City.
Yeah.
And here's why, right? City, like you said, fantastic attacking. Players like De Bruyne, you have the front three that's changing every week, and they're all fantastic players. Here's the big thing, though. The big issue they've had is their defense.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Laporte is expected to come back in the next 4-ish to 2 to 4 weeks, I believe it is, something like that. So I think with Laporte returning, I think their defense will return to a point where it's good enough for them to beat Real Madrid. If Laporte does have some sort of setback, though, I'm not sure if they can do it. But based on what I've heard and what I've read, I'm going to go with Manchester City to beat Real Madrid in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Let us know what you think of our predictions in the comment and who you think will win each matchup. Anyways, thank you and take it easy. Peace.